Hello everyone, let's talk about a brand new mod that's just released to elevate your Kislev campaigns. Guns of Erengrad is a really large unit pack that introduces some lords and heroes alongside a lot of new units. As you can see here, the Kislev roster looks pretty damn sweet now, and this is introducing a bunch of different units from different styles, a lot of range. Probably the best part is the artillery pulled by sleds, a modern take on some classic stuff that never got reintroduced to Kislev. Now these units will be available to you in custom battle, but also in campaign. All the units are going to be spread out a little bit, some of them in areas already available and others through a new building tree, which, to be honest, given how Kislev is, you don't mind the extra building. It adds in rather nicely. Now, for the sake of not butchering all these names, I'm not gonna just attempt them because a lot of these are just kind of weird to me as an Iberian. But these units are all available to every playable Kislev faction, so you're fine if you want to use them with Stankia, with Boris to get a little bit of extra help, which some of them are a little bit cheap on the upkeep scale. It does really help out. Or if you want to start off with Erengrad, you can do a Constantine campaign. I know a lot of people do favor Catherine because she is objectively stronger. So your new Lord option, your Voivoda, is essentially an engineer. You've got restock here and so on. Something that's kind of needed when you're dealing with so much range units. Like Kislev has a lot of range units, mostly hybrids. You can get him on a horse, you can get him on a sled. But the main thing is he's got a pistol, he's able to fight in melee in a very decent way. So think of him kind of like a hybrid melee close combat kind of range unit. He gets really good when he's on the sled because he does buff up the artillery and the war sleds. I really like him as a choice. It's always good to have extra choices when it comes to lords. I think that's why the Empire is so popular, even though they're still missing their spellcaster lords. You've got so many options. It also means you can kind of build up armies in different ways too. Now you also get access to two heroes. The first one being the Kovnik, and this one is really damn good. It is a sniper. Which is kind of interesting that Kislev doesn't have this, considering that most of them do focus around, being able to hunt like large monsters and stuff. A sniper does work out very well. It's a hero killer. You can also use it to kill some anti-large because you can swap out the ammunition. Overall, a very, very good hero choice if you're going to be dealing with a lot of chaos stuff. And you're going to want to get them from a very far off range. Your artillery is good, but it's not too good at getting the single entities on foot. Get them from the distance and start knocking out the big problem stuff like Chaos Sorcerers very, very early on. And snipers are kind of regular when it comes to the Empire, so you'd think trade would allow those armaments to go over. But don't you worry, that's not the only option, as Kislev has really been missing out on a proper melee hero for some time now. The Voyan comes in with that. It's a big great axe. It's very, very good actually. And the great thing about this is you've got two skill lines to kind of pick from, so you can tailor it in different ways. One locks out the other, but one is focused around being a bodyguard, very defensive, very, very good at just kind of holding the line. But you do have the other, which is the War Mask line, and that's going to increase it in the capabilities of melee, doing a fairly decent AoE Vortex attack. So if you've got him there in the middle of Skaven hordes, which, I mean, you're going to be dealing with a lot of Skaven early into your Kislev campaign, then you will be able to just kind of brush them aside. Troop prices and upkeep are very much comparable to vanilla. This mod is made by Common Normal Time. You've seen his mods before. So you're in for a very good time to be able to switch around troops, get some stuff that is going to fit with what you're specifically looking for without spending bank. Because a big problem with Kislev is since most of their troops are hybrid, they can cost a little bit more. But you lack the variety. Here you've got still some hybrids, but the variety is actually really, really nice. And you've got really good stylings. I think it's more obvious with the units. Hell, the Streltsy were reskinned. I think everyone really likes the older style of what Streltsy was supposed to be, with the gun and the axe being separate, but the axe kind of acts as the holder. But just wait and see, because these units are freaking gorgeous, dude. So you've got two melee units here, one being the Spearman, basically. I'm not going to pronounce these names, I'm just sorry, but it's just going to be butchering it. But the Spearmen look fantastic, and then the Crown Guard are there. This is a unit that actually existed in Warhammer Fantasy back in the day, during the lore, but was never really transferred over. They look freaking awesome. Seriously, the wow factor was like really high when I was playing through this. So you do have some skirmish units in the form of like close combat, very much like Empire Militia, and some bomb throwers. The idea here is, again, adding stuff that fits with Kislev styling, because a lot of these units just naturally fill in there without too much of an issue. Kislev is going to be pretty bare bones. We don't know if new DLC is ever going to happen for them, because they do feel rather complete since their rework. Just look at these musket troopers with the bayonets. They're freaking great to use. You've got another trooper there which kind of uses a blunderbuss more type of thing, but the musketeers here are just awesome. They're very good at melee too. Not like amazing, but when your enemy's charging into that line, you know, you've got other stuff supporting. You've got a lot of gunpowder going out. You can go full proper gun line now if you don't want to use like the ice switch units and stuff, which I think a few people didn't really like too much. The cavalry also works really well, some pistolier cav. So you've got a heavy version and a light version. I like them. The heavy version just looks freaking awesome, I'm not going to lie. The styling there is wonderful. Again, this is stuff that I feel could actually work for Kislev proper. Cafe's just come out on the tabletop, so I don't imagine that it's going to be too long until we have to wait to Kislev. Well, at least I hope so. The biggest thing I think for me was the fact that we have access to some artillery pieces on sleds. I like that. It's really nice. It's a modern take on all the stuff. The Erengrad cannon coming back. I think a lot of people were really pissed off that the recent, well, not recent DLC, it's been a while now, hasn't it, since Shadows of Change, but it didn't have the Erengrad cannon. I think a lot of people were really hoping for that, myself included. I mean, you've got skirmish artillery. They're going to be a bit weaker than the Empire versions, but it kind of makes sense considering that they're going to be having high mobility, which is obviously very, very useful. Honestly, I've been able to play around with this when I came back last night from dinner, and it's pretty damn good. It just adds really naturally. You can do a full army of those units if you want, but I think that the mod really excels when you just mix and match with stuff that's already available to you. On screen right now, I've got a randomly generated Norscan army, and then I tried to bring in as many of the troops from the mod as possible, and honestly, yeah, it's not bad. I feel like the pistoliers really harmonize well in campaign with everything else. They do very much a lot of damage to skin wolves and stuff, which is going to be needed, you know. We've got a Norska DLC coming at some point. You want some extra firepower to fight against them. The spearmen work very well. They're cheap. You can mass them quite heavily. They hold the line quite well. They've all got the stuff like the, you know, by the land and stuff, so they're able to work quite well. I still need to kind of get used to using these mobile artillery pieces. I didn't use it too well. The melee hero is fantastic. I'm a big fan of having something just dedicated to melee and not being a hybrid. There is a little bit of hybrid fatigue when it comes to Kislev, but I think it's just how the whole faction is going to work from now on. The musket troopers have to be my favorite. It just sucks that Warhammer as a series doesn't really have reload animations. I think that that would just kind of add a lot more flavor to it. I mean, we got them on the Chaos Dwarfs, and that's it, you know? This is totally a mod that you need to check out if you're looking for another reason to play with Kislev. Kislev, I feel, didn't really get a lot of love in terms of, like, not only CA, but the player base. I think, obviously, Shadows of Change kind of soured that, but the rework was fantastic. The rework really made Kislev something special. So adding mods like this just adds to it. I feel like the unit stats and so on are very comparable to vanilla, so everything fits without feeling too strong. Obviously there are problems with some mods where some stuff is just too strong. Hell, there's a problem that happens on DLCs lately too. But yeah, the mod can be found in the description below. I would highly recommend checking this out. The rest of the battle will play out just in case you want to see how it goes. I think it was pretty close-ish in some regard, which is great. You don't want something to just be very one-sided, even if it is against the Total War AI, which isn't too smart. But yeah, the mod can be found in the description below. Check it out and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, I'll be live on twitch.tv/thegreatbookofgrudges today. I should be streaming some Borderlands. I've finally got myself a copy and I am really just dying to play it. It's been a long time waiting, so I'm excited to check it out. See you guys, have a great one.
Retreat! Obey the orthodoxy! Make way! Making it so! I am Kislev! From Mother Kislev! Hearts of Ice! Last of Kislev! Land is power!
Ręce!
Abandon the fight!
Horse Raiders! Obey the orthodoxy!
Stand firm!
A bolt of James will see to that!
Wolves of Kislevite!
Fight for Ursa! Sons of Kislev!
The thunders of Kislev! Bring them down!
Fight safety! Follow the bear!
Sons of Kislev!